Welcome, friends. Today I'm sharing a project that I actually saw Finvar do on her VIP live stream for her patrons. This is a challenge about pushing light and dark on the same piece. I love trying it out, although some rusty touches work their way into my version. But I wanted to do mixed media with brushes for a while. I've seen many wonderful examples out on social media, as well as from Finvar and her studio friends. And so for this piece, I chose a very large brush, accented with some smaller thin brushes that you'll see shortly. I found it fun using a lot of the chipboard pieces that you're seeing in the background, a lot of mechanicals, and I used a lot of found objects and other ephemera. So you can see that I put some chipboard down in the background with some soft body gel accents underneath just to give it some texture. And then up in the upper left corner you can see my treasure trove of hardware. There's a lot of miscellaneous things that I have found or come across over the years, and so I have those. And then as you can see, I have ephemera and different things in the bottom left corner. And then my one of my favorites in the upper right is a container filled with gears and screw heads and all kinds of fun things. So, so I'm using Finvar's heavy body gel to secure everything down to the canvas. It's really adheres lots of different objects down very well. So I wanted to get a balance of gears and started to use some mechanical flowers in there as well, just to start to build up kind of a 3D look on top of the chipboard so it wouldn't stay so flat. And so this process, I've been asked, how do you know what goes where? Well, you don't. You try some things. I go through a process of, well, this looks good, or maybe that doesn't, and just focusing on that. I like to choose a focal piece, and so for this one I chose the wings and the lock, and then actually took it a step further, which you'll see in a little while. It's important to make sure your entire piece is dry. Also note, I covered up the brush there because the plastic bristles will actually shrivel up. If you want that kind of a look, it's fantastic. So at this point, it is ready for the gesso phase, and so I let it dry completely overnight, and now I'm going ahead and doing the brush light and shadow. So we'll do the one side on the left in the white gesso, and the side, the darker shadow side on the right. And so going ahead and make sure it's important that you turn the piece all over and make sure you've got everything covered up, because it's easy if you don't spin it around and look at it different angles to forget something, and then later in the project you wish you had. So I let that dry as well overnight, and then I thought, well, there's still some pieces I'm thinking about. I wanted to give it some more focal point, and so went ahead and grabbed a couple other pieces out. And then I wanted to really bridge the light to the dark, and so I brought in some of the Art Alchemy liquid acrylics, ultramarine, deep turquoise, just really fun colors to accent the gesso, and it really started to give the dark side some really neat purples as well as blues, and then of course on the light side you can definitely see the color coming through. So it was really fun to play with those back and forth and to really start to push the project further. And then came back and brushed some dry brush white gesso over top to start to blend it. And then this is where I deferred a little bit. I was really excited about my main piece. I found a little bird skull piece that I liked, and I thought, you know what, I really just couldn't resist. I went ahead and used some rust effects. So the Cosmic Shimmer Rust paints, I used some rust ochre, some rust oxide, and some rust penny to really bring it to life. And so it really made it fun to really have that different dimension of color. So even though it was a true black and white study, I went ahead and cheated a little bit, or took some liberties. And then I added some speckles at the very end, made sure the rust was dripping down in a lot of different places, made it really fun. So the speckles just make it really kind of add some more texture to it where needed, and then of course drying it completely. and some little touches of gesso back over top if too much color was coming in. And then I went ahead and used the Art Alchemy metallic wax, the white pearl, to really give some of these elements a real nice shine. And there you have it. I hope you enjoyed the video. And at the end, you'll see a QR code to scan to go to the blog, or for the YouTube channel. Please subscribe. Appreciate all viewing, and have a fantastic and creative day.